Hey everybody, hunter, fisher, trapper, trader, guide, scout, and interpreter, and just a country cook, Steve Hall, here in Nashville, Tennessee, along with the prettiest camera girl in the world. Hi, Sheila.
Hi.
Today we're going to make shrimp fried rice. I went to the store and all I could find was 10-ounce packages, and I really like to use a 1-pound bag for this recipe. Now these are raw shrimp, tail are removed, the tail's off, they're peeled and deveined. So I've got two 10-ounce bowls of that raw shrimp with the tail off, deveined and cleaned up and everything. And here's the thing, you can use just 10 ounces if you don't want very many shrimp in there, or you could actually use both of them if you want a lot of shrimp. But I'm going to dump one bowl in and then part of the next bowl, then I'm going to save part of it to make a shrimp cocktail for Sheila, because I got to kind of make amends here. We had this recipe yesterday for dinner last night. It was delicious, wasn't it, Sheila?
It was.
We fixed the whole thing. And Sheila does a great job. She runs the camera. She does all the still shots for the thumbnail at the beginning. She does the close-ups, all that stuff. And I have one job, and that's to turn that microphone on up there because it's powered with a little battery. And if you don't turn that microphone on, you'll fix the entire recipe and go into editing, and it looks like this. And there's nothing because I didn't turn the mic on. But I have it turned on today because I seen a little red light come on. So come on over and let's get started. And I got to brag, I got my new Lodge wok here, cast iron wok from Lodge. I only buy Lodge cookware because it's not only made in the United States, but it's made in Tennessee. Come on over, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Man, would you look at this cast iron wok from Lodge Manufacturing. This thing is not light. It is so well made. And because it's magnetic, being it's cast iron, it'll work on this induction cooktop. When I got it out of the box, it had two little tags hanging there, and I kept them. This one here says, you know, like each time you use it, hand wash it, and then promptly dry it, and then rub it down with cooking oil. And over on this side, make sure I got this right side up. This sticker was over here, made in the USA. I'm going to do a little bragging on this company because this is so cool. Where is Lodge cookware made? Wait till you check this out.
According to Wikipedia, Lodge Manufacturing Company is an American manufacturer of cast iron cookware based in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. Founded in 1896 by Joseph Lodge, Lodge Manufacturing is one of America's oldest cookware companies in continuous operation.
Yeah, and at the bottom it says, and it's still owned and operated by the descendants of the Lodge family. That's right, South Pittsburgh, Tennessee, up the road from us, founded in 1896. This company didn't leave the United States, then come back. They've always been here. And this isn't brought in from overseas and then boxed up. Their foundry is over there. That's where they pack the sand together, pour in the cast iron, grind them, and they even season them. They pre-season it. It's not quite as seasoned as the one Grandma gave you, but it gives you a good start. And I am so proud of this American-made company that I don't use any cast iron unless it's Lodge. Now it's time to make our shrimp fried rice. Let's get started. All right, I got this thing on medium heat, and Sheila always has me spray a new cooker with a little of this non-stick spray. Plus I'm going to put, for flavor in here, I'm just going to put in a little bit of butter. Not a lot. Just about that much right there. And then we're going to put in 3 eggs. Now some recipes that make shrimp fried rice use 1 egg. Some use 4. I like 3. And I kind of like to crack it in a bowl ahead of time to make sure that we don't get too many shells in there because that'll put grit in your spit. Alright. You're basically just making scrambled eggs. Now you can do this ahead of time on the stove, but I wanted to cook it in this wok. Alright, pour this down in there, and I'm going to, because I like seasoning, I'm going to hit this with just a little bit of salt and pepper, just a touch. And we're going to just kind of fold this around as it gets cooking here. Let me cook this for a second, be right back with you. Alright, I turned it up to medium high. I'm just going to kind of fold this around in here. Kind of take my little wooden paddle here and kind of chop it up. And we want a soft scramble these scrambled eggs, just so they're just barely done. In fact, I'm going to turn off this heat right now, so it's just barely done, just so you don't see any liquid in your eggs at all. I'm going to move these off, perfect, to a bowl. Be right back with you. Alright, I got my 3 soft scrambled eggs done. I'm going to set them over here. I got this wiped out. I'm going to turn the heat back up again on medium high, and I'm going to add some peanut oil, about a tablespoon. Let me warm that up just a little bit and be right back with you. Alright, this wok is heating up. I'm kind of pushing that oil up on the sides to coat it a little bit. Now, you don't need to use a wok to make this recipe. Just a big old frying pan will work just fine. And here's that shrimp. It's thawed out completely. It is raw. And this is the 1 10-ounce bag. And here's the other 10-ounce bag. So if I put about half that in, that'd be about 15 ounces. And I can save Sheila a little bit of shrimp for shrimp cocktail. Now, you can actually take the time to turn each one of these over in a frying pan if you want. And I use small and medium shrimp only because they're bite size. When it's time to eat, you don't have large shrimp in there. Alright, that kind of cooled the pan down a little bit. Let me get it catching up with itself first. I'm going to hit that also with just a little bit of salt and pepper. Now, you can salt and pepper your shrimp and let it set for a while in the bowl before you even do this. I'll just season it up in the pan here and give this just a little squeeze of lemon juice in here. And this is really key. This is probably one of the most important things, other than the rice, in this particular recipe, is not to overcook the shrimp. Now, because I have little ones, medium size actually, it said on the bag, but they're kind of small medium. But you can use small to medium. That way you can kind of just tumble them instead of trying to sit there with a pair of tongs and turn each one over when it gets pink and all that. You know me, I'm not that patient. This is looking good, isn't it, Sheila?
It is.
It was delicious yesterday too, but we didn't.
It was awesome.
But we didn't have the mic on. That was my job to turn on that microphone.
Yes, it was.
Testing 1, 2, 3. I hope it's on today. I'll find out when I get in the editing bay. Now, see, this is starting to turn pink, and we only want to do about a minute per side. So tumbling around here is about 2 minutes total, 3 minutes at the most with these smaller shrimp. And then we're going to pull them out of here because we don't want little rubbery hockey pucks. We want delicious, tender shrimp. And I think because we're going to cook these again when we get all our rice and stuff done, I'm going to pull this now. So let me go ahead and get these out of here. I've got a fancy schmancy little wok over here. A little wok turner. I bet I can get them to take a dive off the side here. What do you say? And in this juice I got going, I'm going to put a little bit more of that butter in there. And I got vegetables over here that have mushrooms and onions in it, but I'm going to use just a little bit more. Kind of saute these up soft. A little bit of sweet onions. I don't use nothing but sweet, unless I have to use like a white onion or red onion in a recipe. These are sweet Vidalias. I'm going to get these stirred around, get these kind of soft. I got a pop, maybe about 2/3 of a cup extra, because I just want some extra onions and mushrooms in here. Alright, these are starting to look really nice. Just a touch of salt and pepper on them as well. And a little bit of garlic powder. Not much, just a little bit on those. Just wanted a touch of garlic powder on there. Now it's time for the rice, and I'm going to add that rice right in here. Now you want to make your rice the day before. And I'm actually going to turn this off so I got time to explain this. Alright, I took just a second to get my rice over here. This is just minute rice. Now it's already cooked, and you could actually just take these and put them right in the refrigerator. Just the way they are, in the cardboard and everything. Then bring them out the next day so they're nice and cold. Then take them out of the refrigerator about 30 minutes before you're going to cook this recipe so they're just cool. The one thing you don't want to do is make rice at home, and you can, because 1 cup makes 3 cups, so you'd have to use about 1 1/3 cup to get 4 cups of rice, because that's how much I got in here. I got 4 of these little containers, and each one makes a cup. But you don't want to dump it into this recipe hot. So if you make your own rice at home instead of using this minute rice stuff, let it cool, put it in the refrigerator overnight, then kind of break it up with your fingers so it just, see how nice that is? And then put it in cool the next day. And that's what we're going to do. All right, I turned my heat back on, and I'm going to add this rice right on top of these mushrooms and onions in here. I'm going to start to fry this via the name, shrimp fried rice. While our rice is starting to fry, I got to tell you what I discovered at the store. It's fantastic. There's a sauce you can make, and it's on almost everybody's recipes out there for shrimp fried rice. They take a little dish and they put in some soy sauce, some oyster sauce, some dark oyster sauce, all kinds of stuff. I found this little bottle. Can you see that, Sheila?
I can.
And this stuff is Mr. Wong's Sesame Stir Fry Sauce, Gourmet. And I'll tell you, what's in here is soy sauce, oyster sauce, mushroom soy sauce. It is so fantastic. You can see how much we used yesterday, about 1/3 of the bottle. It is so fantastic. And it also has orange juice and pineapple juice in the ingredients. It is so wonderful. I'm going to put that in just a little bit. The first thing, now that I got this rice warming up here good, I'm going to add my veggies. That's something else I discovered. Now traditionally, shrimp fried rice has peas and carrots. But I found these at Kroger, stir fry starters. And it's got a lot of neat stuff in there. It's got, let's see here, broccoli, sugar snap peas, green beans, carrots, celery, onions, mushrooms, and red peppers. Why wouldn't you dump in all that flavor? And I just took it out of the freezer and thawed it. You can actually go from the freezer right to your rice, but I kind of wanted to thaw it a little bit first. Look at that color. Is that fantastic or what? We had this yesterday, and this is just the way to go. I got one more thing in the refrigerator that I'm going to grab here that Sheila ran all over town to find yesterday. As I stir this up a little bit, she's sneaking off camera into the kitchen to grab it, and I wouldn't dare forget to put it in there. And I'll tell you this, she couldn't find it at Food Lion. She couldn't find it at Kroger's. Then she went out to Walmart. Still couldn't find it. So we called Publix and they said, yeah, we carry it. And they probably got it at your store, but she couldn't find it nowhere. And it's bean sprouts. Man, oh man. We had some in there yesterday and they're fantastic. And because they kind of reduce a little bit, I'm going to dump the bean sprouts to this. Pretty good. Thanks for hunting these down yesterday, Sheila.
You're welcome.
You did a great job with that. Oh, our fried rice is doing just that. It's frying up in our wok. And again, you can just make this in a large frying pan. But man, use all those vegetables that are more than just peas and carrots. And now it's time for the stuff. Oh, Mr. Wong's Oriental Wok Gourmet Asian Sauce. There's several on the shelf. Don't buy some of them because they only have like 2 ingredients. This is the stuff that has the orange juice and the pineapple juice in it. And I guess I don't know how to tell you, but I use a lot of it. This would probably be maybe, I'll start with just about 1/3 of a cup. Let me tell you, this is going on chicken. It's going to go on beef on the barbecue. You wait till you taste that sauce. If it looks good, it tastes twice as good as it looks. Look at the nice color it gives to everything. Man, I almost can't stand myself because after I add the eggs and the shrimp, I might have to add a little bit more of this sauce. Time for the eggs. I'm going to put the shrimp in last because, again, we don't want to overcook that shrimp. Kind of break up your scrambled eggs. Stir it around. Isn't this the most delicious shrimp fried rice recipe you ever seen? If it ain't, it ought to be. Man, I'm telling you. And now, oh, that looks so good. And now it's time for our 1 pound of fried shrimp. Move that out of the way. Let me tumble these guys in here. Now these are almost done when I took them out, and even sitting over there, they probably cooked in the bowl a little bit, so I'm not cooking these very long. In fact, I might sneak one. Oh. That's done. I am going to add just a little bit more, maybe another couple tablespoons. This stuff is so delicious. You absolutely love it. Man, did you hear that clank in there, Sheila?
I did.
I did that on purpose to make sure that that microphone was on.
If it wasn't, it is now.
It is now, isn't it? And you know what we did yesterday? Let me turn this off. We were going to dish it up, and Sheila said, why not just leave it right in this beautiful lodge wok as our serving dish, and we'll eat it right out of there. Good call. And there you have it, folks. What do you think, Sheila?
It was really, really good.
Let me get a spoon. I got to taste this stuff. Well, thank you, Sheila, for taking the pictures for our thumbnail for our channel.
You're welcome.
A little bit of onions, a little bit of mushrooms, a little bit of veggies, and a nice soft shrimp because we didn't overcook it. I don't know what else to say. That stuff is so delicious. The shrimp is so soft. All them veggies are in there. We added a little bit of extra onions and some mushrooms to give it a little bit more body, just because we like mushrooms and onions. We didn't go with just the carrots and peas because it has peas in here. Where are they? They're inside, right there, inside that little pod. Oh, what a great combination. I know you're going to love this shrimp fried rice. There you have it. Easy to make, too. Shrimp fried rice. Salt and pepper to taste? I don't think so. Once you use this stuff, you won't put anything else in there. Get you some of that minute rice right out of the box. Cook it the night before, throw it in the refrigerator. Get you some of these vegetables right out of the bag. Get some of those shrimp right out of the bag. Don't overcook them. Pick you up a little bottle of this stuff right here. I'll list what it is right underneath there. And most of all, if you want them little tender, bursting, flavorful little strings in there, have Sheila drive around town and get you some of these little guys right here. Thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome.
And I had to have Sheila get one more close-up of this delicious shrimp fried rice. Is it the best you ever tasted? If it ain't, it ought to be. Wait a second, didn't we already say that earlier in the recipe?
Yes, we did.
You know why we said it twice? Because we made it twice. Once yesterday with no microphone on, and once today with the mic on. Remember, all the ingredients will be right underneath the video. You never have to go to a website to get our ingredients for our recipes. They're always right there handy so you can copy them and paste them. But if you are out snooping around, don't forget, we now have our Shotgun Red's catfish and crappie breading mix. If you want to do tilapia, shrimp, pork tenderloin, chicken wings, fried green tomatoes, it's all so delicious in that fish breading. Check it out at the site, but you don't need to go there to get the ingredients there right underneath. Oh yeah, and the site is shotgunred.com. We'll see you next time right here on Cooking with Shotgun Red. It's time to have some delicious shrimp fried rice again today. This is a recipe that you'll eat 2 days in a row. It's that good. Say goodnight, Sheila.
Good night, Sheila.
All right, bye-bye for now.